Hours, President Biden will speak with Chinese President Xi Jinping. Biden expected to issue a stern warning to China if the country gives military and economic aid to Russia. The call comes as the violence in Ukraine intensified overnight. Russian forces firing missiles toward Lviv, damaging buildings near the city's airport. We're also learning more about an American man, Jimmy Hill, who was killed in Ukraine. His family says he died while waiting in line for bread. We'll have the latest on the situation in Ukraine in just a moment. We start with Allison Harris at the White House with more on the meeting between the U.S. and China. It just takes place in a couple of hours, as we said. Allison?
Good morning, Adrian. The White House says this call is part of the administration's way of maintaining open lines of communication between the U.S. and China. The president maintaining the ear of the Chinese president in the two leaders' first interaction since the Russian invasion began. President Biden holding a call with China's President Xi Jinping today as the world enters week 4 of the Russian invasion. President Biden doubling down on calling President Putin a war criminal.
Standing together against a murderous dictator, a pure thug who is waging an immoral war against the people of Ukraine.
The Biden administration ratcheting up its warnings for Putin and China if Beijing gives military aid to Russia. Secretary of State Antony Blinken threatening punishment.
We're concerned that they're considering directly assisting Russia with military equipment to use in Ukraine. China will bear responsibility for any actions it takes to support Russia's aggression, and we will not hesitate to impose costs.
China is moving in the wrong direction, according to Blinken, accusing China of violating the UN Charter by not condemning Russian aggression. And there are even reports of China sending military aid to Russia. China calling that fake news. Blinken arguing China has an even greater responsibility to persuade Putin to stop his war because of China's alignment with the Kremlin. Presidents Putin and Jinping meeting just before the invasion at the Winter Olympics.
This is an opportunity for President Biden to assess where President Xi stands. So the fact that China has not denounced what Russia is doing in and of itself speaks volumes.
The call this morning at 9 Eastern comes after what's been described as an intense 7-hour session between the White House National Security Advisor and his Chinese counterpart in Rome on Monday. A senior administration official saying after that meeting that the U.S. has deep concerns about China and Russia's alignment as China tries to remain neutral on Russia's invasion. Adrian?
All right. Thank you to you, Allison. The war, of course, continues to intensify. A barrage of... Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to click on the red subscribe button below so you can get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.